Our world is a library of mysteries, some solved, others still waiting to be unraveled. But what if I told you there's a page in the book of Earth's mysteries that's as startling as it is fascinating? Today we're traveling to Brazil, the land of samba, soccer, and believe it or not, one of the most intriguing UFO incidents in history. An event that's been compared to the Roswell incident of 1947. But unlike Roswell, this chapter from the late 1970s has managed to stay relatively obscured from the world's lens. So buckle up as we dive into the depths of Operation Saucer, or as it's popularly known, the Brazilian Roswell. In 1977, in the remote reaches of the Amazon River Delta, something inexplicable began happening in the Brazilian island of Colares. This tranquil and somewhat isolated place, known for its simple fishing villages and sprawling, lush rainforests, became the epicenter of a series of strange sightings that left its inhabitants frightened and astounded. These events have come to be referred to as the Brazilian Roswell, one uncanny echo of the famed incident that occurred in the New Mexico desert 3 decades prior. The sightings were anything but ordinary. The residents started observing bizarre, glowing objects hovering in the sky. These phenomena were not the occasional fleeting glimpses we often associate with UFO sightings. No, these were recurring, often nightly occurrences that lasted for several months. The objects, described by eyewitnesses as saucers or luminous spheres, displayed unconventional movement patterns and would hover over the area, emitting intense beams of light. Local doctors were overwhelmed with patients complaining of mysterious ailments after these encounters. The local government, unable to provide an explanation or assistance, called in the Brazilian Air Force for help. This marked the beginning of an unprecedented military investigation codenamed Operation Saucer. Operation Saucer, under the command of Captain Urange Hollander, carried out extensive research on the sightings. The team comprised of about 24 soldiers who set up a base on Colares Island, aiming to document this unexplainable phenomenon scientifically. They reportedly managed to capture hundreds of photographs and over 16 hours of film footage showing the strange objects. Interviews were conducted with many locals, documenting their experiences and encounters in meticulous detail. The operation, however, was shrouded in an air of mystery and secrecy. While the investigation was taking place, news about these events was not permitted to leak to the outside world. It was a clandestine endeavor that remained largely unacknowledged until years later. The lengths to which the Brazilian military went to study these phenomena begs the question: what exactly was happening on the island of Colares in 1977? And, perhaps more intriguingly, what did the military discover during Operation Saucer? The lights and strange craft witnessed during this time weren't simply spectacles that the villagers could admire from a safe distance. No, these sightings were interactive, sometimes distressingly so. Residents reported experiencing both physical and psychological effects following encounters with the strange, unexplained phenomena, adding another layer to this. The villagers described the lights as intensely bright, usually taking on an array of vibrant colors. These were no mere flashes in the night sky, but rather intricate, luminous shapes performing elaborate maneuvers that defied conventional understanding of physics. Their movements seemed deliberate, as if controlled by some unknown intelligence. The effects they had on the local population were equally peculiar. Numerous individuals reported being targeted by beams of light emitted from these craft, resulting in a variety of symptoms. Some experienced intense heat and were left with first-degree burns on their skin. Others described a sensation akin to being pricked by hundreds of needles. Paralysis, weakness, and fatigue were also commonly reported following these encounters, leaving the victims drained of energy and in a state of deep confusion. One of the most chilling aspects of these encounters was that many victims also reported significant hair loss in the areas where the beams had hit them, a condition known as alopecia. Furthermore, puncture marks or small wounds were often found on the bodies of these individuals, leading to speculation about possible extractions of blood or biological material. What makes these accounts all the more troubling is that they were not isolated incidents, but rather widespread phenomena affecting a large portion of the local population. Indeed, over the course of just a few months, the local health post registered more than 400 cases of individuals suffering from these peculiar symptoms. The consistency of these reports, combined with the physical evidence, defied any straightforward, conventional explanation. deepening the intrigue and mystery surrounding the Brazilian Roswell. But like a sudden blackout in a vibrant city, Operation Saucer came to an abrupt end. It was December of 1977, and despite the operation having just scratched the surface of understanding the phenomena, the Brazilian military abruptly concluded it. This decision came as a surprise considering the increasing momentum of the investigations. The sightings showed no signs of diminishing. The populace was still gripped by fear, and the question of what these lights were remained unanswered. The hasty closure sparked a series of speculations. Some suggested that the military had made contact or had come to some agreement with the beings behind the lights. Others conjectured that they might have found something profoundly unsettling, something that either scared them into silence or was so significant that it had to be kept under wraps. Conspiracy theorists leaped at the decision. They suspected that the US government, given their vested interest in UFO phenomena, as demonstrated by initiatives like Project Blue Book, might have exerted pressure on Brazil to end the operation and keep the findings confidential. They point to potential cover-ups and suppression of information in the interest of national security. After all, what if these entities represented an unknown and potentially superior technology? But amidst all this speculation, the military kept tight-lipped and all files related to Operation Saucer were classified. The lead investigator, Captain Hollander, was reassigned, and any discussion about the operation was discouraged. It was as if a veil of silence had descended over the whole affair, making it one of the most captivating yet least understood UFO encounters in history. Years later, in 1997, Brazil did release some files pertaining to Operation Saucer, but the information contained within was frustratingly sparse. It seemed that the real heart of the matter, the true answers to what transpired during those strange months in 1977, were either lost, still hidden, or perhaps out of this world. Now, as is often the case when governments appear to hide information, a whole wave of conspiracy theories and unanswered questions surfaced. Who were the true puppeteers of these dazzling lights? Were they just an unexplained natural phenomenon, or did they indeed have otherworldly origins? Did the Brazilian military really make contact with these entities? The answers remain as elusive as the lights themselves, but let's dive deeper into these mysteries. Some of the more common theories suggest an extraterrestrial presence, with believers pointing to the sophisticated maneuvers of the lights and the bizarre symptoms exhibited by those who came into contact with them. These symptoms, including puncture marks and anemia, seem to defy logical explanation, leading some to posit that these were results of alien encounters. In the heart of the conspiracy theory jungle, some suggest that Operation Saucer was a smokescreen for a more secret, more in-depth investigation, one that yielded evidence of alien existence and contact. The abrupt end of the operation is often seen as a sign that the military had found something too potent, too shocking to reveal to the public. Yet others contend that the lights were perhaps secret technological experiments, possibly even orchestrated by the United States or another foreign power. The area around Colares is remote and sparsely populated, making it an ideal location for such clandestine tests. But of course, these are all theories, stories spun in the void of official silence. Despite numerous requests and appeals over the years, the Brazilian government has kept a tight lid on the Operation Saucer files. Captain Hollander, the lead investigator, gave an interview in 1997, claiming he had indeed witnessed the extraterrestrial entities during the operation. However, his mysterious death just a year later has only added fuel to the conspiracy theories and speculation. Thus, the Brazilian Roswell remains shrouded in mystery, a tantalizing question mark in the annals of UFO encounters. The island of Colares, once an obscure fishing community, is now etched in UFO lore as a hotspot of unexplained aerial phenomena and an enduring symbol of the quest for the truth about extraterrestrial life. Now, despite the swirling clouds of mystery and speculation, the Brazilian Roswell incident has left a significant footprint on the sands of time. This extraordinary event isn't just another tale of fleeting lights in the night sky. It has created a lasting legacy and has had a profound influence on the ufology and our perception of the unknown. Firstly, let's consider the sheer intensity and duration of the sightings. Over several months, countless people reported interactions with these inexplicable lights. This wasn't just a solitary UFO sighting, but rather a sustained, intensive phenomenon that affected an entire community. It's fair to say that such a level of activity is unprecedented in the annals of reported extraterrestrial encounters. Additionally, the involvement of the Brazilian military, one of the most powerful in South America, gives an extra layer of credibility to the events. Unlike many other UFO incidents, this one was officially investigated, lending an undeniable gravitas to the sightings. The military's serious approach, complete with a specially dedicated operation and its sudden termination, has intrigued ufologists and investigators ever since. The legacy of the Brazilian Roswell also extends to the cultural impact it has had. The story has been the subject of numerous documentaries, books, and articles. The town of Colares has become a mecca for UFO enthusiasts, with many making pilgrimages to this remote corner of Brazil to experience the location of these mystifying events firsthand. Finally, the Brazilian Roswell has made an indelible impact on the discourse about life beyond Earth. The fact that these sightings were accompanied by physical symptoms in those who witnessed them forces us to confront the idea that if there is other life in the universe, it could interact with us in ways we may not fully understand or anticipate. The incident fuels the ongoing debate and speculation about what lies beyond the boundaries of our planet. Ultimately, the legacy of the Brazilian Roswell is a reminder of our enduring fascination with the unknown, the mysteries of the universe, and our relentless pursuit of answers, no matter how elusive they may be. And as always, thanks for watching.